Well, I a little perturbed my camera. I had a week's worth of video, a lot of which was putting the house wrap on the gable ends. Got both sides done, and when I went to process it, I found out the microphone wasn't working, which I assume the battery was dead, because I remember specifically turning the microphone on. But that's the way things go sometimes. But your weekly update is the house wrap is up. Tomorrow I have that piece of sheathing there and that bit of sheathing down there. I'm going to get that little gap closed in on all 4 rakes, and we're pretty much ready for roofing after that. This week I will be putting on some tar paper, and I have roof jacks now. So, but this is a fairly steep pitch. It's 9/12. That means 9 inches up for every 12 inches in. So it's a fairly steep one. You can't stand on it, you slide right off. At least I didn't feel very confident on it. But I still got this edge that I need to straighten up, because we had a little operator error when we were laying the first course of sheathing on, and it didn't go on quite straight. We straightened it up on course 2, but as you can see, we're out just a little bit. So from this nail, or I don't know if you can see that strail, you can see it a little bit sticking out all the way, the rest of the way out, right down to the end, and I got to trim that off and we'll be ready to go. So that'll be another job. But by next weekend we should be completely papered and lathed and ready for metal roofing to go on, which my brother-in-law has a fella that is going to do that for a nominal fee, and it's more than reasonable. And we'll see how things go. That's it for now. I got supper in the oven, or actually I have a vacuum sealed frozen scalloped potatoes heating up in a pot of boiling water. Well, that's it for now. I just don't want to live nowhere else. Got the truck ready to go. Better close the windows up before I turn in. I got the kayak on. Go out and do a little paddle in the morning. It won't quite be a sunrise paddle, but it'll be good enough. I'll have to reshoot some of my shooting video, but I've got one target set up down there. It's an 8-inch by 1/2-inch steel plate that is hanging inside one of them tires there. That actually works out pretty well. However, the AK and my 44 caliber cowboy action stuff knocks that tire right over. It knocks the snot out of that steel plate, the 44 did. Of course, I shot several minutes of video today, and of course the microphone wasn't working. Hopefully it's working now. But it's near sunset in paradise. Later on, folks. Hey folks, a little toasty out here in the sun, but I'm about ready to cut this last little bit off to get the edge straight. is, folks. Finally, I got this edge nice and straight all the way down. A couple of stick outs I got to chop off. Other than that, we're ready to go with tar paper. Let's see if I can get you a better view. Look at that. A nice straight roof edge now. And this whole problem started out because we messed up laying out this first row of sheathing. So everything was off. The second row we got straight because we measured down from the peak and got it straightened out. But it was a bit of a job having to move the ladder every 3 or 4 feet to keep the cut going. But we got it. It's ready to go. And I'm going to start running paper now. Actually, I think I'll get the reciprocal saw out and cut those 2 stick outs. Then I'll get the tar paper going. Back in a bit. Well, not too bad for a couple hours work. Yes, I'm old and slow. But I will have this side of the roof completely done by the end of the day. I move at my own pace. And it does take time. I roll the tar paper out on the ground and cut it to length to fit the length of the roof. Then I take it up. It's just so much easier than dealing with a heavy roll of tar paper. I got the roof brackets up, so some halfway decent footing, because standing on those slats just is not that comfortable, as I found out when we were on the other side. But at least I got the roof jacks or roof brackets, got the planks, something fairly solid to stand on. I have one more pair of brackets, and I'm wishing I had bought probably 4 or 6 more, but I can make do with 3 pair. And at least I can leave one down low and then just keep moving the next 2 up as I need. And I think I'll only have to move them once, maybe 2 more times to get all the way up to the peak and flap the last course of paper over. Not too bad. Probably tomorrow I will actually cut the OSB and finish, the getting the rakes covered. And we need to run one more roll of paper on the bottom here. Man, the wind just tore this up because we didn't have the lathing. We should have started the lathing on this end because the wind was blowing right out this way. But that's alright. It'll staple back down for the most part. We can patch that up, no big deal. And again, we should have cut the OSB to cover that right from the start, but we didn't have a whole lot to work with it for that particular day. Here we go. Sorry guys. I'm looking at the roof instead of the screen. There's another patch there. It needs to be covered up real quick, but not too bad. It's going to be kind of interesting trying to get this bottom course on. Again, I will roll it out, cut it to length, and then try to get it slipped up underneath there, staple it in place, and get a row of lathing, which I think I'm going to have to buy a few more bundles of lathing, because for some reason we went 20 some odd inches between each one on this side. I'm doing 24 on center on the other side, and we'll just make that work. Wise. But she's looking pretty good with the house wrap up. Man, what a difference it makes on the inside of the house. It's just unbelievable. You know, it still lets light in. Now, of course, sometime in August, we'll get the rest of this T111 right here up on the gable ends, and we'll have everything weather tight. I may or may not put a couple windows in for ambient light. We'll see how things go. But, still got the ladder sitting there. We're going to need that ladder on this end anyway, so I might as well just leave it there. And with that, it's time for lunch. So we'll get back with you later. God, I hope the microphone's working this time. Later on, friends. Well, that's going to do it for today. I am out of steam. I don't have enough oomph to get those last two pieces of lathing on. Not to mention, going to need some more lathing. I'm thinking at least 3 more runs there. That's 1.5 bundles, or six to a bundle. And there's at least 2 more runs on the south side. So that's 2.5 bundles of lathing, or the straps there, slats, whatever you want to call them. And that means I need to buy 3. I have probably 2 more courses of tar paper on the south, or on the north side. And I got 2 more courses over here, and I know that partial roll of paper that I have right now isn't going to do it. So, another roll of tar paper, 3 more bundles of lathing, straps, slats, whatever you want to call it. And that'll do it. Tomorrow I have appointments, so I'll be in town. That'll be a good time to swing by the big blue box store, otherwise known as Lowe's, who never had to be coerced or shamed into giving a military discount to them. Thank you very much, Lowe's. Everything that I've done here everything you're looking at was bought at and delivered by Lowe's. Even the flag and the ladder and the roof brackets and all the lumber. Everything was bought at Lowe's. They have done me very good. I am figuring at this point I am probably at about $8,000, maybe a little more, but somewhere right around $8 grand. And we've got the material on hand to be weathered in, dried in, whatever you want to call it. The only thing that's going to be, the only major thing that's going to own the house that did not get bought at Lowe's is the metal roofing, which is bought it and custom made at Crescent Lumber in Stillwater, Maine. They did me a very good job, give me a good price. You know, it's still expensive, but at least I got a good price out of it. You know, because they give contractors rates for everything, so there's, you know, enough sheeting and all the drip edges and the edge trimming and, you know, everything, the screws and everything's color matched. And they delivered all, including the, I think it was, it must have been Crescent that delivered the roof ridge vent. You know, that's just a real fluffy fibrous material that'll go underneath the ridge cap and just lets air escape out of the house. But I'm going to quit yakking. I'm going to go shut down the generator and enjoy a nice frosty cold water or two and get cooled off, and then maybe I'll enjoy a frosty cold something else. We're approaching the heat of the day. It's starting to get down off that roof. I'm stumbling tired, and that's no place to be when you're that tired. So, until next time, we'll see you. Life is good. Well, I guess it's a good thing I canceled the bucket lift for the weekend yesterday. There won't be any work going on the roof this weekend, or at least not today. So, I guess we'll just put what we got into the video editor and put something up for y'all to see. Another little wonderful thing that would of course have to happen when it's raining. It's back up now because I have a backup. But started to heat up some water for shaving and washing, and no fire. So my big RV bottle finally ran out of LP propane, but I had an extra. I had a smaller bottle on hand, a little Let's see if we can get a view of it. No, not really. You can just see the top of the small one on the left side there. At least it stopped raining mostly, so I could hook that bottle up and get it working. That's going to be it for this week's update. I'm just hoping that the microphone's actually working. We'll find out when I get up to the land of Wi-Fi and my laptop where the video editor is. And that'll be later today. It's Saturday, the 3rd or 4th of August. I forget. Anyway, other than a little bit of rain, it's a day of rest, and life is still good. Later on, folks.